All right, California's governor about to drop a budget bombshell today. The state debt has nearly doubled over a period of just 5 months.
We're now facing a $16 billion hole, not the $9 billion we thought in January.
Hey, we're joined now by a former California State Assemblyman who thinks he has this whole thing figured out. Chuck DeVore is here. Chuck, what in the world is going on, and are you surprised they are that far off?
I am not surprised that they're that far off, and what in the world is going on is that California is destroying its tax base. It's got high taxes, high regulations, high energy costs. People who pay taxes are leaving. That's what's going on.
And a third of the country's welfare recipients are located in California?
That's right. California, with about 12% of the population in the country, has about 33% of the welfare recipients. It's kind of like the future of the entitlement society that I think Barack Obama wants to have for the whole country.
So
and you can kind of see that future in California.
So you're saying that the tax base is picking up and leaving because people are voting with their feet and going to places like you did over in Texas. Now, when you look at where the money is being spent, what have you discovered?
Well, what's happening in California is they're spending more and more and more on big government. It includes health care, it includes education. It includes a lot of money for regulators who regulate every last little detail of the lives of people who are trying to create jobs in California. And that's, I think, the problem with California is it kind of represents the future of the welfare state, the entitlement state in America, and it doesn't work. It causes people not to work as hard and not to produce as much.
You spent a lot of time in service, whether you're serving as a representative in California or serving the country as a lieutenant colonel. Why did you pick up and leave?
Well, I picked up and left because I saw that it just didn't seem that California was learning its lesson. I used to work in aerospace. I was an executive in the aerospace industry. The last major aerospace headquarters left California in 2012 or 2011 actually, and so I looked around the country and I looked at which states honor freedom and liberty and hard work and keep government to a minimum, the minimum needed for its people, and I determined that Texas was really the best place to go, so I picked up and moved.
You know, a Democrat like Governor Cuomo making some tough choices about balancing his budget, not really worrying that too much about politics, it doesn't seem. What is it going to take for Governor Brown to start making some tough decisions?
Well, I think it's going to take the defeat of his tax measure in this November's election. They have a ballot measure that would boost the top marginal rate for income taxes in California to the highest in the country. And if you add it to the federal rate, it'd be over 48%. And if that measure fails, and it's designed to raise $9 billion, although some experts think it only raised $6.5 billion, if that fails, then they're going to have to look at some serious cuts. But what Brown isn't saying is that over half of the money that he's going to raise is going to go fund government employee pensions and health care costs. And he doesn't want to talk about that because he doesn't think the voters of California are going to want to increase their taxes to pay for these government employee pensions.
And you know what, Chuck, we talk about this, even if the people of California maybe not all be listening, but the rest of the country should learn from this because we could all be facing the same thing on a federal level, even on the state level.
Absolutely. This is writ large. One more thing, look for a bankruptcy in California soon. The 13th largest city in California, Stockton, is ready to go belly up, largely because of its government employee pension costs.
Chuck DeVore, thanks so much. And they were leading the country, sadly, in foreclosures. Thanks for joining us this morning.